Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Deepak Shenoy Talks. This is April 18th, 2010 and I'm going to speak today about the Nifty price to earnings ratio and the EPS growth, foreign institutional investor buying and some events this week. Heading over to the Nifty EPS, the first data point we'll see is that the Nifty EPS seems to have been dropping in the last week with a steady growth over the last quarter. Nice results last quarter, by the way. We've seen a small dip from 235 to down to 231, a 2% dip. This I don't really know why right now, but it could be because of some rebalancing of weights within the Nifty, or because some results came in late last quarter. Whatever it is, we've seen a 2% dip, and that has taken the EPS, the PE of the Nifty to 22.78. You can see here the green line is the Nifty and the blue line is the price to earnings ratio. It has largely tracked the Nifty over the last 2 years, primarily because EPS has been stagnant. This is the EPS growth chart in the bottom, but if you look at just the EPS at April 2008, we were at an EPS of 230. We're at 231 now, so we've barely moved in the last 2 years. For most of last year, we saw negative EPS growth. One interesting data point here is if we look at the normalized PE. The normalized PE is essentially an answer to the question, do markets discount future growth? If I took the PE that the markets gave us last year and compared it to the EPS growth we've actually seen in the last 1 year, how different are these numbers? So we saw in the early part of 2007 that the markets expected EPS to grow around 20%. The market actually grew EPS much higher, probably around 25%, even at 30%. But after 2007, early part of 2008, we saw that the expectations for EPS growth was substantially higher than the actual EPS growth delivered. Now these, remember that the EPS, the PE, the blue line is actually 1 year in the past. So we see a dip around this January 2009 actually corresponds to the same dip in January 2008. While for the most part in 2008 and 2009 expectations remained above the 20% level, actual EPS growth delivered was negative and trending down. When markets kind of decided that, oh well, we're not going to see too much future EPS growth, is when we actually saw some recovery and the EPS came back to normal. It just proves that volatile times bring about with it higher expectations of growth, and probably too high in terms of expectations versus actual results delivered. Let's go down to the FII buying figures. FIIs have completed 32 days of buying, consecutive days of buying. The last time they actually sold stocks, net sold, was on 25th Feb 2010. 32 continuous days of buying is the highest number of consecutive buying days since the data was reported, I think in 2004. So let's see how this week goes in the wake of Goldman news. Events that are going to happen this week are there is the Goldman impact, because the news about Goldman being sued by the SEC came after Indian market hours, so we're going to see any impact of that on Monday morning. The RBI credit policy is on Tuesday during market hours. There will be some volatility that day. We expect an increase in the repo and the cash reserve ratios. 25 basis points each is the expectation, probably 50. Anything more than that is going to be a huge negative. This is also a big result week, a lot of big stocks announcing results. Watch out really for results that are supposed to come in on that day, but they don't come in during market hours. So I've seen that any news on that comes in after market hours, especially result news, it tends to be negative. So it's something to watch out for. That's all we have for you this week, or I have for you this week. Thanks so much for listening, and I'd love some feedback.